Trump announces plan for new external revenue service to collect tariff income. Washington, D.C. In a move that has sparked both curiosity and controversy, President-elect Donald Trump has announced plans to establish a new agency, tentatively named the External Revenue Service, ERS, aimed at collecting tariffs, duties, and other revenues from foreign sources. This announcement was made via Trump's social media platform, Truth Social, where he declared that the new service would begin operations on January 20, 2025, coinciding with his inauguration. Trump's proposal comes amidst his repeated emphasis on reducing America's reliance on domestic taxation through the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, which he has criticized for taxing our great people. Instead, Trump aims to shift the focus towards collecting funds from international trade. Through soft and pathetically weak trade agreements, the American economy has delivered growth and prosperity to the world, while taxing ourselves, Trump stated. It is time for that to change. We will begin charging those that make money off of us with trade, and they will start paying, finally, their fair share. This new agency would represent a significant shift in how tariffs and foreign revenue are managed, currently handled by agencies like U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the Commerce Department, and the U.S. Trade Representative. Critics argue that the creation of the ERS could lead to increased bureaucratic complexity rather than the simplification Trump has promised. Senator Ron Wyden, a Democrat from Oregon and the top Democrat on the Senate Finance Committee, was quick to criticize the plan, calling it a silly rebranding that masks a multi-trillion-dollar tax hike on American families and small businesses, intended to fund tax cuts for the wealthy. Economists have expressed skepticism about the efficiency of tariffs as a primary revenue source, warning that such charges could increase consumer costs as companies pass on the tariffs. Despite this, some supporters of Trump's policies see the ERS as a way to enforce tougher trade policies and potentially reduce the need for domestic taxation. However, the creation of a new federal agency contradicts Trump's previous pledges to shrink government size, raising questions about how this aligns with his broader policy of government efficiency led by figures like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. The feasibility of creating such an agency remains in question, as it requires congressional approval. With Republicans holding majorities in both the House and Senate, the legislative path might be smoother, though the exact structure and function of the ERS remain unclear. Some speculate it might involve reorganizing or rebranding existing parts of government rather than creating an entirely new entity. Public reactions on social media platforms like X have been mixed. Some users view this as a bold move to make foreign entities pay their fair share, while others see it as yet another layer of bureaucracy or a potential misuse of government power. As this story develops, the implications of the External Revenue Service on U.S. trade policy, consumer prices, and government efficiency will be closely watched. Whether this initiative can navigate the legislative hurdles and public scrutiny to become a reality remains to be seen. We will go to the president.
And tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens. For this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues. It will be massive amounts of money pouring into our treasury, coming from foreign sources. The American dream will soon be back and thriving like never before to restore confidence and effectiveness to our federal government. My administration will establish the brand new Department of Government Efficiency. After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America. again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents, something I know something about. We will not allow that to happen. It will not happen again. Under my leadership, we will restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law. And we are going to bring law and order back to our cities. This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. This week I will reinstate any service members who were unjustly expelled from our military for objecting to the COVID vaccine mandate with full back pay. And I will sign an order to stop our warriors from being subjected to radical political theories and social experiments while on duty. It's going to end immediately. Our armed forces will be free to focus on their sole mission, defeating America's enemies. Like in 2017, we will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen. We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. I'm pleased to say that as of yesterday, one day before I assumed office, the hostages in the Middle East are coming back home to their families. America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth, inspiring the awe and admiration of the entire world. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and we will restore the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it should be and where it belongs. President McKinley made our country very rich through tariffs and through talent. He was a natural businessman and gave Teddy Roosevelt the money for many of the great things he did, including the Panama Canal. which has foolishly been given to the country of Panama after the United States. The United States, I mean, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal. We have been treated very badly from this foolish gift that should have never been made. And Panama's promise to us has been broken. The purpose of our deal and the spirit of our treaty has been totally violated. American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form. And that includes the United States Navy. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal. And we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. Message to Americans today is that it is time for us to once again act with courage.
That he was nominated, President Trump has nominated me to be the next Secretary of Commerce for the United States to serve all of you. So let's talk about commerce. You see, we plan to end the decades of policies that threw American workers to the wolves. Factories were closed, jobs were lost, wages decreased. We left Americans out in the cold while country after country of this world took us to the cleaners and made money off of us. And that is going to end today. At the start of the 20th century, America was the richest country on earth. And we defended our workers from unfair trade policies with tariffs. And we only made money. We had no income tax. All we did is charge other countries and foreign companies, if they wanted to sell to America, you had to pay for entry. Okay, so imagine this. The U.S. government had no income tax. Americans got to keep all their hard-earned money, and foreigners paid the price. So now, what's happened? We have the Internal Revenue Service. That means charge us internally. Now imagine politicians who can't even balance their own checkbook, taking our money, and what do every year? Let's just take more, let's just take more, let's just take more. So this is how Donald Trump is going to end it and fix it. Last week, he announced that we're going to return America to greatness by creating, and today is its birthday, the External Revenue Service. So if you're always wondering, is some bureaucrat going to cut your benefits? Not under Donald Trump. Not under Donald Trump. It means foreign companies are going to pay if they want to come and sell products to the wealthiest country on earth. And if they want to compete with American workers, then let's just not tax our American workers. It means creating level playing fields. And it means that America will be great by reducing the taxes that we pay and driving the ones that they pay. So what that means is the External Revenue Service will put up tariffs or walls that protect you. And that means if these companies don't want to pay, there's only one thing they can do. Build the factories in America, hire Americans with great high-paying jobs. Let's double the size of our unions in America, but not just by adding more and more great paying jobs. That's our objective. So today is the beginning of celebrating the return of common sense and the ending the decades of disrespecting the American worker and the disrespect and unfair treatment of our workers. Today, Donald Trump returns to the White House and